Reporting from upstate New York, it's Dave Stylez. And hello viewers, my name is Dave Stylez, and this is the next edition of my 2 cents. We got a jam-packed episode for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. We got some information we're going to pass on to you guys, and then we're going to go through 3 more emails this week, and then dive into the final topic of the day. So, the information I want to pass on to you guys is we do have a new writer. Unfortunately, he's only going to be on Facebook. He is my dad. He's about 30 years older than I am. He's up in his 60s. He's got some very opinionated stuff that he writes about. Stuff that I don't normally touch on, like world travesties, political views, stuff like that. I don't really get into politics too much, but he follows, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that'll appease some of the viewers who like that kind of stuff and are waiting for opinions on that stuff. Once again, this is a complete opinionated vlog and sites. So if you're following me, please do not take any offense to anything that I post or he posts. Channel that energy more into, maybe a debate or something, battle back if you want. I'm sure he'll love that. But, try not to take anything too much to heart, because it is just opinions. Everybody has opinions. So what we have here on the other side of that is I want to thank everybody who is also subscribing and clicking on the likes and following us on the social medias, because we've grown. Once again, we've picked up more subscribers, so I mean it's going in the right direction, and I want to thank everybody who's already doing that. Feel free, you don't have to share everything, guys. But share my videos if you like what you see. Share my videos to friends that you think, I'm doing the best I can to spread myself around here. Word of mouth is always appreciated. So if we can get that going, then I can help as many people as I possibly can, and more people can hear what I got to say, which is all I'm really looking for. I just want to help out some people. So what we got here is we got 3 more emails. So I want to appreciate everybody that that wrote in. We got 3 emails. I answered a couple more already through the emails. So hopefully that advice was good for you guys. But I picked 3 emails. They're kind of similar in topics a little bit, and kind of once again tie into everything that's going on with the main subject of the day. So our first one is actually from a female who wants to call herself Youth Yearning for Youth. So she says, I am so aggravated right now. I'm not sure if all my choices are the ones that I really want or felt like I had to make. I feel like I had to grow up way too fast, and now I'm trying to feel young again. Is this a wrong feeling? I want to go to parties. I want to laugh and giggle. I want to flirt. And most of all, I want to be spontaneous. But of course I can't be, because everything has to be planned, or so it seems. I am a 19-year-old girl, and I feel like I'm turning 36 next month instead of 20. I can't do what I want with my time. I can't laugh too much, and I can't be too spontaneous too much. So, what should I do? Okay, now, what I gotta say for you is I don't really know exactly why you can't be this. Maybe you're a young mother. Maybe you've got a really tough job that takes up all your time or something like that. It wasn't really clear. But what I have to say is, for my advice for you is absolutely not is it wrong to have the feeling to want to be spontaneous, to want to have fun. A big topic today will be you only live once. I mean, so you got to enjoy your life. You got to, but at the same time, don't take this as advice to, say, blow your money or just, go about your business like you don't have a care in the world. Because, I mean, you don't necessarily, especially at 19, 20, you don't want to set yourself up for debt or anything like that, like going into your future, You want to set yourself up kind of nice. But definitely don't feel bad about wanting to be spontaneous. You just can't go overboard. You can't move 10 states away like I did on the whim, because sometimes it doesn't work out, and then you end up in a hole a little bit worse than what you were. So and you have to dig out. So I'm just saying, if you can find the middle road, that's my best advice for you. Try to find that middle road. It's a tough road to find, so good luck. But don't ever feel wrong about wanting to have some fun and wanting to live a little bit, because everybody needs that. And so that's my best advice. I hope that helped you out there. Our next guy has a similar issue. He says that, hey Dave, I need some opinions. Would you rather stick with the same job that promises a future that you can't be yourself or have fun or do whatever you want, that is constantly making you wonder if there's other jobs in the market? Or would you take the job that is fun and inviting and that you have absolutely no future with, but still it intrigues you and lets you be random and have fun and feel like you're a lot younger than what you are? I'm just curious what you would do, because if that job makes you feel not wanted, young, or have purpose, but yet gives you a lifetime membership, is it still worth it? Okay, so once again, there's some factors in here that is going to make the advice a little choppy. So because you say it makes you feel younger, but I necessarily don't know where you are as far as age in this life. So I would have to say, if you're like the girl in the previous post, you're say 19 to let's give or take 25, probably a little bit younger, then once again, you only live once. A lot of people are still trying to figure out college years and stuff at that age. I mean, go with the fun job. If it's paying your bills, if it's keeping you, above the the red line, absolutely stick with a job that you can learn from. Maybe you can have fun, you can be random, be yourself, figure out things, you know what I'm saying? But if you're starting the older part of your life, I don't want to say older, but I'm saying 25 to 30, I mean, you really should start looking at a career. You should start figuring out something. I got started really late, and now I'm kind of suffering from that because, the retirement plan isn't going to be as high as it could have been, stuff like that. But you don't need to really be thinking about that as much. Don't get me wrong, you still need to think about it, but don't as much if you're in the younger years. I've had plenty of jobs. I refuse to be pushed around, the know-it-all guy that just makes you feel like crap, and you go home feeling like crap, and your whole life just feels unimportant and stuff like that. That's not a life. Even if you have that career job, even if you're in your 30s or something like that, and you're trying to figure out, am I doing the right thing? There's other career jobs that can make you feel better than that job. So don't settle for a job that makes you feel like crap every day, inside and out. But necessarily, that's adulthood. You're going to probably end up with a job. 90% of Americans, unfortunately, find a job that they don't like, but yet pays really well, has amazing benefits, amazing retirement, stuff like that, health and stuff. So they stick with it. And if you can balance that work life and leave it at work and still come home and be happy, but yet have the, that's what most Americans have to deal with. So that's my best advice. I know it's really choppy. It's not solid. But like I'm just trying to say, you got to find a middle balance, but don't ruin your life because you feel like crap, because that's just not gonna end out well. So you got to find where you fit and find a job that you can leave at the job and still have a decent life at home. So once again, not very solid, but hopefully that helped you out a little bit. Hopefully that kind of gives you a little perspective on what you're looking for. All right, and our last email is from a guy named Jake. He says that he has a friend who has a master's in English as well as a bachelor's in math. However, he lowers his standards in the way he talks to make him sound a lot less intelligent. It ticks him off because his friend has a degree, and he's heard him talk intelligent, but it's not the way that he likes to talk around certain groups or certain people. So he says when he talks, he pronounces that like dat, or any way that he would feel like what most people would call hooderizing a word. So it's he wants to know what my 2 cents on how he can help his friend without being rude. Okay, so I'm not too whether it's hooderizing or whatever the word that we're looking for. Let's it's just a general topic and perspective here is that it's just people trying to fit in. Your friend is like a lot of other people. They find a group or they're intimidated by a group. They just want to fit in, so they do all sorts of different things. And in your friend's case, he's trying to mimic the way they talk. Whether it's like a rapper talk. Like a Snoop Dogg and it. Or something like that, Dizzle or something like that. It's just the way people talk. He wants to fit in, or if it's like a California swag or a Southern accent or something like that, they're going to try to mimic the twang or something like that. It's just a way to try to fit in with these people. And it's not a bad thing. He doesn't have to do that. And I think that's where you're coming from is like, he can just be smart and, find people, but nonetheless, maybe he enjoys being with those people. So as a true friend, my advice for you as a true friend, what you should do is, just maybe try to talk to him about it. Don't necessarily push your views or anything like that. Just say, hey, why do you not talk as intelligent as I know you can? And try to, do that. And maybe it'll help him realize that maybe he doesn't have to do that. But what else I got to share is that this is just like anything else. It's like a growing phase. He's not going to be doing this for the rest of his life. So if you can sort of deal with it, if it's not as annoying, what I don't know. Just he will grow out of it as he grows up more and more and matures more. He's going to find more people that he wants to associate with rather than people that he feels like he has to or is intimidated by. So. Be a friend as much as you can be a friend, have a chat with him if, or basically you can kind of, just deal with it and hope he grows out of it soon. So that's my best advice for you on that. So those are the emails we have for today. Now we have a topic, and the topic kind of, is something that I've talked about before in some of my other blogs, and it's about the word normal. Okay, so, and this is what I kind of was feeling from some of these, especially the first two texts, but everybody just, and the last guy who just wants to fit in, everybody just wants to fit in, everybody just wants to feel normal. I mean, what normal is, don't ask me, because, I can give opinions all day on it, but everybody has a different opinion on normal. Normal is just... normal? I don't know, but I worked in a food industry for a while, so I'm going to share a couple things that I've come across and see, I've done a lot of growing up over the years, and a lot of maturity, and I worked in the food industry as a server. Now, so I got to see many different types of people. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is, there was a elderly man that walked in. Now, when he sat down, he could not control himself from rocking back and forth. Okay? Now, everybody is just staring at this elderly man, because it's just, I don't know, and I'm like, and as I've grown up, I've realized, I probably would have done the same thing, when I was younger. I probably would have been like, oh man, that sucks, but, in this time, I wanted to look around, just yell out, everybody, just, stop staring at this man. He's just trying to eat his lunch. He's just trying to be normal. But you know what? That wouldn't have helped. That wouldn't have made that man feel any better. Matter of fact, probably would have been embarrassed him a little bit more. So, you can't judge a guy, or maybe judge is the wrong word, but you can't look at, some people are just want to be normal. An elderly lady, walked in one time, had a couple, which I can only assume was probably her grandkids, or maybe one was a granddaughter and the other one was a boyfriend. But the two younger people talked, and the elderly lady, once again, she was had a nervous twerk or something. She kept shaking her head back and forth, in a no way, and she couldn't stop. Now, the thing is you don't know anything about this woman's life. You can't try to, make fun or laugh about it or anything like that. Like, this woman possibly could have had a greater accomplishment than I've ever had in my entire life. So who was I to judge, or to make fun or poke fun or anything like that? Who was I to sit there? This woman just wanted to come in, live normal for the last, years or months or even days, whatever she had left on the earth. She just wanted to feel normal again, she don't want people staring or making fun or anything like that, So, and then the last story is the one that really bugs me. So, a homeless man walked in, okay? Now, his shoes, his clothes barely hang into his body. He had body odor. He smelled. He was, obviously in need of a shower, stuff like that. But he was just a man. He's just a human being. Do we know his story? No. What society has taught you to think when you see somebody like this is, oh, he must be a drug addict, or maybe he's lazy, or something like that. Like, and you judge. But this guy, maybe who knows his story? Maybe he was just maybe he lost everything. Maybe his house burned down. Maybe he lost the love of his life, and it just drove him to such depression that he just didn't give two shits about anything. Now, do we look down on this guy? Do we judge his appearance? Do we, should he not be as normal as the rest of us? Should he come into this restaurant and not be able to eat and receive the same service that anybody else comes in? Well, I'll tell you what, that day, the server that served that man was disgusting. She had a look of disgust on her face. She didn't want to serve the guy, all because of the way that he looked. And he didn't know crap about him. Okay? This man, and I'll tell you what, this man, I watched over the course of this man's meal. I watched a lonely, sad man turn to a sad man, turn to just a hungry man, turn to the most polite guy that I've come across in any food industry. Like, any customer that wants to come in, he was as polite. And you know what? That server, you don't think that man could see, because I could see, everybody else was seeing, the sheer, unprofessionalism that was going on there. And it's not just in the serving industry. It's not just in a restaurant. It's every day. It's everyday people. You have your views on society and the media and everything points you in a direction to judge people in a certain way just because they aren't normal. You know what I'm saying? So that's the topic that I'm trying to stress here, and the point that I'm really trying to make is you've heard the line, don't judge a book by its cover. And the underlined meaning of all this is that you don't know anybody's story. You can't go about life, thinking that you're any different than anybody else. Normal is just a word in the dictionary. And you know what? Everybody, God willing, someday will grow old. And you don't know if you'll be in the same shoes. Some of you just may have a travesty that could end up leading you to that homeless man's life. You might all lose someone, whether it be through death or, a lost love that, you break up, marriage separates. And this person is just they just need to feel like a regular person again. They just need somebody to show them that everything's going to be okay and that they can be normal again. And as sad as everybody wants to be normal, I mean, sometimes I don't want to be normal. You know, sometimes you want to be different. You want to be spontaneous. That's good. You know, but at the same time, at the end of it, all people are going to somehow end up unnormal. And you got to realize that. So, like, you got to take those views and lock them up inside of you and treat everybody like a human being. Okay? Now, that manager comped that homeless man's meal. And do you know what that man did? That man left his whole sack. It was just a sack of change right on the table. He just wanted a regular meal just like anybody else did. He wanted to pay for it like everybody else did. He wanted to feel normal. And it was over $10. So I mean, he would have left a tip. His meal only came to like $8 and some change. So I mean, yeah, maybe $1, you know, whatever. It's not that. But the point of the matter is, it's like he would have left a tip just like everybody else would. You know, more of a tip than some people do. Some people will stiff you. You know, and he would have paid for his meal. He wasn't looking for no special handouts. He wasn't looking for no help. He just wanted to be normal. And I know how much was in that bag because the server walked around with disgust, talking about how heavy the thing was, and she wanted to turn that money in right away so she can get bills because it was too heavy. You know, and to my applause and my pleasure, when I looked around shaking my head like, I can't believe this, at least a few other servers were shaking their head as well. Like, wow. You know, because they knew, they were starting to feel that. And it gave me hope that maybe there still is people that, you know, are learning like I did. You know, like I said, I'm not a perfect person. I might have done the same thing when I was younger. Maybe some people are just misguided like that, like I was. So I'm sending this message out to you. I'm sending this view out to you to maybe help some of those people who are still looking for that guidance to break away from that. You know, the word normal, once again, is just a word. But to some people, it means a lot more. So, once again, don't judge by appearance. Don't judge, period. Like, everybody has their opinion. Everybody has their own views. But it doesn't make anybody any more important or less important than the next person. So, hopefully my message was spread out nice and clear, guys. That's all I have for today. Make sure, you know, if you know, like I said, if you like me, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to the links that are below. Follow me on the different social medias. But for now, guys, this has been my 2 cents. Thank you for viewing.